The 40% rule. When your mind screams, "I'm done," your body has only used 40% of its actual capacity. That voice quitting early isn't truth. It's comfort talking, dressed up as logic. Most people live their entire lives inside that 40%. They never touch the other 60% because nobody ever taught them it exists. Mental strength begins the moment you stop believing the first wave of exhaustion, pain, or fear is the finish line. It's not. It's a checkpoint your brain installed to protect you from effort, not danger. Every single time you push past that first "I can't," you're rewiring the relationship between your mind and your limits. This isn't about reckless risk. It's about recognizing that quitting thoughts arrive far earlier than quitting necessity. Athletes, soldiers, and high performers who operate at elite levels have trained themselves to recognize that early quit signal and treat it as information, not instruction. The moment you feel like stopping, that workout, that hard conversation, that difficult project, ask one brutal question. Is this actually my limit, or is this my mind being lazy? 9 times out of 10, it's the second one. Training yourself to push 10 more minutes, 10 more reps, 10 more steps past that signal builds a callus on your mind. Over 30 days of doing this daily in small and large ways, you literally reprogram your default response to discomfort. You stop negotiating with weakness. The 40% rule isn't motivation. It's a permanent shift in how you interpret your own limits, and it is the foundation everything else in this transformation is built on. Callousing the mind through daily discomfort. Your mind is a muscle, and muscles don't grow from comfort. They grow from controlled damage followed by repair. Every time you choose the hard option when the easy one was sitting right there, you tear something down in your mind and rebuild it stronger. Cold showers when warm ones are available, waking up before your body wants to, finishing the workout when you're already exhausted. None of these things matter individually. What matters is the compounding effect of choosing discomfort on purpose every single day until your nervous system stops treating hardship as an emergency and starts treating it as normal operating procedure. This is called callousing. The same way your hands toughen up from repeated friction, your mind toughens up from repeated voluntary suffering. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, which means their minds stay soft, reactive, and fragile. The first time real adversity hits, a layoff, a loss, a failure, they collapse because they've never practiced staying steady under pressure. But someone who has spent 30 days deliberately doing hard things on schedule has already proven to themselves over and over that discomfort is survivable and even useful. By day 30, hard things don't feel like punishment anymore. They feel like proof. You start seeking difficulty instead of running from it because you've learned that's where the person you're becoming actually lives. This callus doesn't come from reading about toughness. It only comes from doing something uncomfortable on purpose today. The accountability mirror. There's a version of you that knows exactly what you're avoiding, exactly what excuse you made this morning, and exactly why you didn't follow through yesterday. That version only shows up when you stop lying to yourself. The accountability mirror is a daily practice. Stand in front of yourself, literally or mentally, and say the truth out loud, not the polished version you'd tell other people, the real one. I didn't train today because I was scared of failing, not because I was busy. I didn't send that email because I'm avoiding rejection. Most people go their whole lives without ever being brutally honest with themselves, and that dishonesty is exactly what keeps them stuck at the same level year after year. Self-deception feels comfortable in the moment and devastating over a lifetime. When you commit to this practice daily, something shifts. You can no longer hide behind convenient stories. You start catching yourself the second you begin to rationalize weakness. This single habit, repeated across 30 days, builds a level of self-awareness that most people never develop in a decade. It's uncomfortable at first. Nobody enjoys confronting their own excuses. But that discomfort is the exact mechanism of growth. The goal isn't self-punishment, it's self-honesty. Write your excuses down, read them back. Ask if they'd hold up under real scrutiny. Most won't. And once you see your own excuses clearly, they lose their power over you completely. Embracing suffering as growth, pain, and struggle are not signs that something has gone wrong. They are signs that transformation is actually happening. Most people are taught to avoid suffering at all costs, so the second something gets hard, their instinct is to escape it. But growth of any kind, physical, mental, emotional, only occurs on the other side of genuine difficulty. If a moment doesn't demand anything from you, it isn't building anything in you. This doesn't mean seeking pain for its own sake. It means no longer running from necessary struggle. When you're in the middle of something brutal, a workout that's breaking you down, a goal that feels impossible, a setback that knocked you flat, the instinct is to ask, why is this happening to me? The mentally strong version of you asks a different question. What is this building in me? That single reframe changes everything. 30 days of consciously choosing to stay in hard moments instead of escaping them trains your nervous system to associate struggle with progress rather than danger. Over time, you stop fearing hard seasons of life because you've proven to yourself that you come out of them sharper, calmer, and more capable than before. This is the difference between people who fall apart during adversity and people who use it as fuel. Suffering, chosen deliberately and faced honestly, is one of the fastest and most reliable teachers available to any human being. And refusing to run from it is a decision, not a personality trait. Fuel from doubt, turning doubters into motivation. Somewhere along this journey, people will doubt you. They'll say you can't, you won't, you're not built for it. Most people let that doubt shrink them. Mentally strong people flip it. They let every doubt become fuel in the tank. This isn't about hatred or revenge. It's about refusing to let someone else's low expectations become your ceiling. Every time you hear, you can't, store it. Use it on the day you want to quit. Let it be the extra rep, the extra mile, the extra hour of work when motivation runs dry. The people who become the strongest versions of themselves often aren't the most naturally talented. They're the ones who used criticism, rejection, and low expectations as rocket fuel instead of letting it become their identity. This requires a shift. Doubt stops being an insult and becomes information, proof of exactly where the bar is set, so you know how high you need to jump. Across 30 days, track every moment someone doubts your effort, your goal, or your ability. Instead of arguing or explaining yourself, simply note it and let your results speak later. Silence backed by action is louder than any comeback. This practice builds a quiet, unshakable resilience. You stop needing external validation because you've learned to generate your own motivation internally, powered by the very things that used to hurt you. By the end of this process, doubt from others barely registers. It just becomes one more log on the fire. The cookie jar, drawing power from past victories. Inside you is a memory of every hard thing you've already survived. The version of yourself that got through it when it felt impossible. That memory is a resource, and most people never learn to use it. The cookie jar is the practice of mentally storing your hardest victories, moments you didn't think you'd make it through but did, and pulling them out the instant you hit a wall. When you're exhausted, in doubt, or ready to quit on day 15 of this journey, you reach into that jar and remind yourself, I've done harder than this before and I made it. This isn't wishful thinking. It's evidence-based confidence built from your own lived history. Most people underestimate how much proof of their own strength they're sitting on because they never pause to catalog it. Spend time actively writing down 5 to 10 moments in your life where you pushed through something that felt unbearable at the time. Keep that list close. When the 30-day process gets brutal, and it will, that list becomes your anchor. It reminds you that the person capable of getting through this has already proven themselves before, under different circumstances and different pain. This tool matters most in the final hardest stretch of any goal when motivation is gone and only identity remains. The cookie jar isn't about the past for nostalgia's sake. It's a weapon built from your own history, deployed at the exact moment you need undeniable proof that you don't quit. What if I told you that the person you are right now, tired, doubting, comfortable, is not even close to who you actually are? What if everything you call your limit is just a story your mind made up to keep you safe, comfortable, and small? You were never tested. You were never pushed past that first wave of I can't. You stopped the second it got uncomfortable, and you call that your ceiling. It isn't. It never was. 30 days. That's all it takes to prove to yourself that you've been lying to yourself for years. Not 30 days of hoping, not 30 days of wishing, 30 days of doing the one thing you don't want to do at the exact moment you don't want to do it. You wake up and your mind says, stay in bed. You get up anyway. You start the workout and your body says, stop. You push 10 more. You look in the mirror and every excuse you've ever made stares back at you. And for the first time, you say it out loud. Out loud. No more hiding behind, I'm busy, I'm tired, tomorrow. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is the toll you pay to become someone new. Every rep that burns, every morning that hurts, every moment you choose hard over easy, that's not suffering for nothing. That's construction. That's your mind getting rebuilt, one brutal choice at a time. You don't get stronger in comfort. Nobody has ever become unstoppable by staying where it's easy. They will doubt you. Let them. Every single doubt is free fuel. Take it, store it, and burn it on the day you want to quit. You don't need their belief. You need your own proof, and you're about to build a mountain of it. And when it gets unbearable, because it will, reach back. Reach back into every hard thing you've already survived. You've been broken before and still showed up. You've wanted to quit before and didn't. That's not luck. That's evidence. That's who you actually are underneath all the excuses. This is not about motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings disappear the second things get hard. This is about discipline, doing it when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. That's the entire game. Anyone can do something when they feel good. Only the strong do it when they feel like garbage, and do it anyway. 30 days from now, you will not recognize the person staring back in that mirror. Not because your body changed, though it will, but because your mind will have stopped negotiating with weakness. You will have proven beyond any doubt that you are capable of more than you ever gave yourself credit for. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Readiness is a myth for people who never intend to start. Get up, do the hard thing, do it again tomorrow, and again and again, until hard becomes normal and normal becomes unstoppable. Mental strength isn't a gift some people are born with. It's a decision made daily in the smallest, most uncomfortable moments nobody else ever sees. The 40% rule shows you your true capacity. Callousing your mind through discomfort builds the armor. The accountability mirror strips away every excuse. Embracing suffering turns pain into a teacher. Doubt from others becomes fuel instead of poison. And the cookie jar reminds you at your weakest moment that you have already survived things you thought would break you. 30 days is not a long time, but it is enough time to prove one undeniable truth. You were never as limited as you believed. The only thing standing between the person you are today and the person you're capable of becoming is your willingness to do the hard thing right now without waiting for permission or motivation. Discipline outlasts feelings. Action outlasts excuses. And the version of you on the other side of these 30 days will look back and wonder why it ever felt impossible. What if the next 30 days completely destroyed the version of you that's been making excuses your whole life? What if I told you your mind quits at 40% and everything past that point, the pain, the exhaustion, the I can't, is a lie your brain tells you to keep you comfortable? You've been living inside that lie for years, calling it your limit when it was never even close. 30 days. That's all it takes to callous your mind, kill every excuse, and prove to yourself what you're actually capable of. No motivation, no shortcuts, just discipline, done daily, especially on the days you don't feel like it. The people who doubt you, fuel the pain you're avoiding, growth in disguise, the hardest thing you've already survived, proof you don't quit. Stop waiting to feel ready. Get up. Do the hard thing today. Because in 30 days, you either stay exactly who you are right now, or you become someone your excuses can't recognize. Which one are you choosing?